What's up, AMC? What's up, you fools out there? Listen, it's May 1st, 2021. It's Saturday. Markets are closed. We saw AMC close yesterday at just over $10. And everyone's like, oh, thank God, thank God. I mean, yeah, it's a great thing they closed over 10. It's good. But I don't want to talk about the stock so much today. I want to talk more about the hedge funds and these scumbags that we're battling right now, which they truly are scumbags. They are the scum of the earth. They manipulate these stocks and they crush these businesses under the weight from these hedge funds on shorting stocks. And I just did a little research last night and found an article and also a video about one of these big hedge fund managers. And I'm going to break it down right now.
Visible as a faint line of foam on the horizon, the man filming from the top of a car park knew immediately what it meant. He tried to warn those below, oblivious to the approaching wall of water. Cars are still driving along the beachside road as the first mighty wave hits. People stumble as they scramble from the rising sea, leaping for their lives. Then a second wave roars in with unstoppable momentum. Those watching panicking as it engulfs everything.
This piece of work right here that we're looking at in the picture is Bill Ackman. He's the founder and CEO of Perishing Square Capital Management. Basically, he's a hedge funds manager. And they've been around for a long time. So you're probably asking, why did I decide to show a clip from the 2004 tsunami in an AMC video? Well, Bill Ackman is about to describe the upcoming economy that we can predict to see from the coronavirus. And the only way and only analogy he can use to describe it, the only thing he can draw off is the 2004 tsunami that killed 250,000 people, did like $4 billion in property damage, and basically refaced the whole southern Pacific Ocean. The clip I'm about to play is from March of 2020. So we're right in the beginning of the stage of the pandemic when everyone's kind of trying to feel each other out. We're trying to figure out, who to listen to, what's going on, what can we expect, how is the economy going to react, is there going to be enough toilet paper? All those things right now are in doubt. And Ackman is going to come out and give his opinion on where he foresees things going.
A billionaire called Bill Ackman went on television in an attempt to make America even more afraid than it already was. Our economy may be done at this point, he said. Over, dead, not coming back. Bill Ackman went on like this for 28 full minutes. Terrified CNBC viewers watched slack-jawed as he ranted. Here's part of his performance.
Hell is coming. This was a feeling like I've never had, like there's a tsunami coming, right? The tsunami's coming in, you feel it in the air, right? The tide starts to roll out, okay? And on the beach, people are playing and having fun like there's nothing going on. And that is the feeling I've had for the last 2 months, okay? And my colleagues at work, okay, thought I was a lunatic. We need to shut it down now. America will end as we know it, okay? I'm sorry to say so, okay, unless we take this option.
Okay, so Billy Boy here is proclaiming that he's seen this coming since January. For 2 months, he has just seen this awful scenario ahead of us when no one else, including the CDC, had any idea what we were dealing with at the time. But Bill Ackman seems to know. And he's so sure of it, he can't even keep a straight face or voice while he's giving his analysis as he breaks into laughter after saying the economy will never recover. Seriously, listen to it again. Listen to what he says.
We need to shut it down now. America will end as we know it, okay? I'm sorry to say so, okay, unless...
Now, can you imagine if we had all listened to Bill Ackman, perishing CEO, and just shut down the entire economy? Where would we be right now a year later? This piece of human filth profits off fear, uncertainty, and doubt, which is exactly what is being promoted right now through the entire market about AMC. We're dealing with the same problem with these short sellers as we did last year with COVID. And what did Billy Boy do after he came on and did this interview? Well, he shorted the shit out of stocks. Bill and his company went in big, and they bet that Hilton Hotels was going to see a decrease in profits and revenue. And sure as shit, just like he said, Hilton and a few other hotel chains took a big hit. Bill's hedge fund made $2.6 billion off the coronavirus market crash back in March in 1 month. Just with that little bit of interview that he was able to push out there, he was able to rake in $2.6 billion. This man and others like him need to be out of the stock market completely. Now, that probably sounds unfair, right? But the problem is nobody is checking these people. The SEC looks the other way, and right now they are in a panic trying to pass legislation to keep these guys in check because it's gotten out of hand and the retail investor has smartened up. Everyone buying GameStop and AMC and these other stocks, basically they realize the jig is up and it's all over. These people aren't going to be able to operate in the shadows anymore. And I'll let Tucker explain right now just a little more to give you guys a little background on what these people are all about.
Bill Ackman was afraid, and he wanted you to be afraid. Ackman was especially frightened for the future of Hilton Hotels. Hilton Hotels, Ackman proclaimed, quote, is going to zero, along with every other hotel company in the world. Every hotel is going to be shut down in the country, every one.
Sound familiar? Like the article I showed you guys from last Tuesday?
Talk about scary. But in the end, not for Bill Ackman. Not long after that appearance, we learned that Ackman's firm had made more than $2 billion from trading in the stocks that many people believed he had pushed down with the hysterically dire predictions you just saw, including Hilton Hotels. So was Ackman's rant on CNBC part of a very dishonest investment strategy? It seemed pretty obvious, so we said so on the air. Ackman's lawyers immediately threatened to sue us. In a long phone conversation later, Ackman swore to us that his public attack on Hilton Hotels had nothing at all to do with his desire to buy hotel stocks at a lower price or with the billions in profit that his firm subsequently reported. There was no connection whatsoever, he promised, and he sounded emotional as he said it. We'll let you assess Bill Ackman's sincerity. We do know that this kind of behavior is common on Wall Street. Ackman himself once attacked the company Herbalife on television. It's going to zero, he once again predicted, in an effort to profit from Herbalife's decline. Pretty ugly. But that kind of thing happens a lot on Wall Street. Hedge fund managers bet money that a specific stock will decline in value. That's called short selling. Short selling has no obvious value to the American economy. Short selling exists for the purpose of enriching the people who do it. Short selling hurts companies, obviously. It hurts their investors, hurts their employees. Ultimately, it hurts our country itself. Yet it continues. No one does anything about short selling. Regulators ignore it. CNBC applauds the brilliance of the people who do it. Oh, they're so clever, those hedge fund managers. In fact, NBC's Business Channel regularly lends its airwaves to unscrupulous short sellers who use free TV airtime, you may have seen this, to tank American companies for profit. They do that all the time. The last administration did nothing to stop this. The current administration certainly won't. The Biden White House is more tightly controlled by business interests than any administration in history. Virtually every person there is beholden to the finance establishment. What's happening on Wall Street is so clearly awful and so obviously destructive. The question is, who's going to fight back against it?
Now, I'm well aware that Tucker can be a controversial figure in today's media, but everything he just said is true. There's nothing in there that's op-ed. Those are all facts, okay? Everything he said is a fact. That's what these people do. And for any new investor out there that has any money tied up in the stock market, You've seen it firsthand over the last couple months with AMC. Clearly, AMC is not going to zero. It's not going anywhere. Yet the price continues to be driven down miraculously when everyone seems to be investing in it. It's on a bullish trend, it's on a bearish trend, it's on a bullish trend. How is that happening? And since that's the case, how are we going to stop it? How can anyone stop it?
As it turns out, a bunch of guys on Reddit will. It fell to them to push back against the short sellers because no one else even tried. So they did. A group of independent investors in a Reddit group called Wall Street Bets learned that hedge funds plan to short the stock of a fading retail company called GameStop. So the Reddit investors began buying shares of GameStop, and GameStop surged in value, ultimately up by more than 1,000%. The hedge funds, for all their calculation, hadn't seen that coming, and they lost billions as a result of it. One hedge fund lost so much money it needed a bailout from 2 other hedge funds. Meanwhile, some of the investors on Reddit got rich. But getting rich was not the whole reason they did it. They also wanted to send a message to the hedge fund managers. Here's one of the Reddit guys, a man called Justin Speak, explaining.
I'd be lying to say if there wasn't some pleasure out of the fact, I'm a pastor and Jesus tells a story about this rich fool who has an overabundant harvest that's more than he can store. And rather than give the excess to those in need, he chooses to build bigger and bigger barns to store it for himself. And rather than share the billions with the less fortunate, they've built bigger and bigger barns for themselves. And so, yeah, I was 100%. There was a part of me that thought, well, it will be fun to be a part of this moment, to see this moment where at some level overnight, these investors are losing their investing lives. It's being demanded from them. And they're left wondering what they get, who's going to get what they had prepared for themselves.
They've built bigger barns for themselves. Well, that's true. Not to mention...
Now you know who you're fighting.
So what's the point here? The point to take away. First of all, these guys are scum. They've been doing this a long time, making themselves rich off the backs of others. And hopefully, everything that we're doing, everyone out there with GameStop and AMC, as long as we keep diamond handing the stock, they can't cause what normally happens to happen this time. Because right now, we're not giving in to their tactics. We know what they're doing. We see the FUD every day. And it's not working. And as time goes by, they are realizing this more and more and more. They can't drive the stock into the ground. They can't make AMC just disappear. So it's going to be a battle. And we're going to continue to fight them. And what better people to fight than these people? Seriously. So fellas out there, ladies, whatever you decide to do in the future with AMC, I think the only way we win is by keeping diamond hands. If we fold and cave to them, then it's over. We lose. We look like crap. They win, take all our money, and we can't let that happen. We can't let that happen. We've come a long way, and it's just got to, we just got to go a little further, and we'll be out of this mess, hopefully, all the wiser. And, 2 things. First and foremost, we get paid. We get paid on our shares. All this hard work that we put in, the time and the effort and the research and the hours editing videos, we finally get paid. And secondly, and even probably more importantly, is that this practice of the short selling, it's got to come to an end. And hopefully, we win on both sides of this, because it's good for no one but the hedge funds. And they've been doing this a long time and getting away with it. And if we can be the force behind that, the driving force to put an end to that and bring a lot more transparency, and we can make the market fairer, especially for the retail investor who may be the only extra money that he's putting into these stocks, then this is one fight worth fighting. Guys, if you enjoyed the content today, please do me a favor. Smash that like button and hit subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And as always, before I let you go, here's a little taste of what I call diversity. Spread love, people. It's the Boston way. I'm the Massalorian, and I'm out.